King Gill rises. 269 at Edgbaston. A knock for the ages, India 581 ninths. Day 2, second test versus England. Edgbaston. 2,025,000 move aside history. Make room for majesty. At Edgbaston, a ground that once haunted Indian dreams, Shubman Gill turned dread into destiny, crafting an innings so commanding, so silken, so steely, that it instantly belongs among the pantheon of great Indian knocks abroad. Not since the imperial elegance of Dravid, the defiance of Tendulkar, or the artistry of Laxman have we witnessed such an innings that fused poetry and punishment with such perfection. 269, 184 balls, 34s, 3 sixes, and not a false note in the entire symphony. The coronation of a modern Maharaja, the innings, was not just about runs. It was about reign. Gill didn't bat, he ruled. And his name is Shubman Gill. Every drive caressed, every punch timed, every leave laced with authority. He walked into a cauldron of expectation, a side under pressure, and emerged not just unscathed, but unshakable. If Headingley was his proclamation as captain, then Edgbaston is his coronation. It wasn't about dominating England. It was about dismantling doubt, about declaring once and for all that India has a new batting monarch. The foundation, steady Jaiswal, gritty Jadeja, but as every monarch needs an empire, Gill was supported by a gallant court. He cut, drove, and hooked his way into rhythm before Stokes finally outwitted him. Yashasvi Jaiswal, once again bold and brilliant, set the early tone with a sparkling 87, his 7th 50 in as many tests against England. Then came Ravindra Jadeja, ever the soldier in India's red ball wars, stitching a masterful 89, firm when England poked, fluid when they flagged. But Gill remained a fortress in whites. England had no answers, only admiration. The 6th wicket stand between Gill and Jadeja was worth 253 breathtaking runs, across 276 balls. The pivot on which India turned the tide. Turning points and milestones, Gill reached his century on day 1 with a clinical flourish. He returned on day 2 and marched to 150, showing no signs of nerves, only intent. He raised his double century off 311 balls, with a flurry of 4s and a flicked 6 that oozed elegance. And finally, in the post-lunch session, came the sublime 250. Brought up with the serenity of a saint and the sharpness of a sword. All this while, England rotated their attack tirelessly, Wokes probing, Kerr steaming in, Bashir spinning, and Stokes scheming. It will now be whispered in the same breath as Gavaskar at the Oval, Dravid at Headingley, and Kohli at Nottingham. Masterclass in mental fortitude. Gill's innings wasn't flashy, was focused. He played the situation, not the scoreboard. He resisted temptation when England crowded his cover region. He managed his physical fatigue and soaked up over 9 hours of high-stakes pressure. And he carried the bat from day 1 through to the close on day 2. Something only the greats do when the team needs it most. This wasn't just Gill's highest test score. It was the highest score by an Indian captain in England. India's monumental 574 sevenths declared India's batting card gleamed with intent. Gill is not just the future anymore. He's the present. And with his bat, he's writing a legacy in real time. Jaiswal's 87 provided thrust. Jadeja's 89 brought glue. Washington Sundar's 42 and Akash Deep's late resistance added polish, and amidst them, Gill's 269 towered like a lighthouse above a turbulent test tide. The scoring rate, a brisk 4.01 per over across 143 overs, shows India's intent, but it was never reckless. It was calculated, clinical domination. A new era, a new emblem, make no mistake. This innings isn't just about Edgbaston, it's a signpost. It declares that the next chapter of Indian batting isn't waiting in the shadows. It's already on the throne. It's the era of King Gill has begun.